Hey there everybody, welcome back to another one of my budgeting videos. This is going to be my update for my line of credit debt payoff tracker. I do feel I should warn you that it is the least amount of forward progress I have made in a month on paying this debt off. But in my defense, it was solely because of where the billing statement for June for my line of credit ended. So you know how they fluctuate? It's never just always, say, the 30th of the month is when your billing cycle ends for your Visa or your MasterCard or your line of credit, whatever it is that you have your debt on. It fluctuates and moves around. Well, the due date for my line of credit for the month of June was like a solid 5 business days before my second paycheck. Normally what I do when I'm paying off my line of credit is every month I look at what the minimum monthly payment is. I add $100, I divide by 2, and then that's the amount that I pay per paycheck, so that over the span of the month I've paid the minimum monthly payment plus an additional $100. I could not do that this month because my paycheck, my second paycheck, didn't happen until so far past when the bill was due that if I didn't pay at least the minimum monthly payment out of my first paycheck on June, or in June, I should say, I would be counted as missing a payment on the line of credit, which I do not want. So I had to do a different strategy for June, I suppose, which resulted in everything is fine. I made the payments, everything, looks good on paper, but it just means that my progress this month isn't like as big of a leap as what I was hoping. I was really hoping for this month to get the debt down into the 15,000 something range, and it didn't happen. I am trying my very best to be okay with it. So let me show you the numbers. In June, my opening balance was $16,445.47 because that is the closing balance from May. My closing balance in June, $16,211.83. My minimum monthly payment was $333.24. So my total paid off so far for my line of credit from the beginning of January in 2025 until now, the end of June, $3,031.51, which is amazing. I'm very happy with that, despite my being all whiny about I wanted to get it into the 15,000 something and I didn't. I am still very happy with this. So let me just go into a little bit more detail. Actually, let me just explain in case you're new here. This page I keep out for myself as motivation. I just take a look at it whenever, I might be thinking like, what's the point, or it's so hard, or it's taking so long. And I find it very motivating to be able to look at the opening balance, the closing balance, and the minimum monthly payment and seeing how consistently they are going smaller and the total paid off every month is getting bigger. I am a very visual person. I find this in all of its simplicity, I just find it very motivating. So I use this, but in my actual budgeting book, I will tape this in at the end of June's budgeting pages. I have one at the end of every month, and it just gives a little bit more information for the line of credit debt payoff that I'm doing, so that if I ever need to reference back to check something, I have the details right there. So some of it is the same, the beginning balance and the ending balance, the minimum monthly payment. I also add in there the interest and the disability premiums that get charged to the line of credit. Now, to be very clear, I do not use this line of credit to pay for anything. So these are not like the interest purchase is not because I bought something new. These are all being charged on the existing balance on the line of credit. So my interest under the cash category is $71.69. Under purchase, $37.07. The disability premium is $20.84. My interest rate with the little arrow, 8.40%. Total paid off, again, $3,031.51. Over here, I put in the payments that I made. So usually there would be payment 1 and payment 2 would be the same amounts because they're paycheck 1 and paycheck 2. But like I already explained, I wasn't able to do that. So on the one paycheck only on the 14th of June, I did the minimum monthly payment, so the $333.24. And then I was able to find in my budget an additional $30 to pay above that, because you should always try, if you are at all able to pay higher than the minimum monthly payment on whatever debt you're trying to pay off. But I just didn't have a lot of money, so the best that I could do was $30. So like I said, that's why this particular month has the slowest progress in paying off the debt in total. It was not because I messed up the budget or I overspent somewhere or I did something wrong. It was solely because the due date for the line of credit was before my second paycheck, and I only have so much money per paycheck that I can put towards this. And so I did the best that I could. And of course, also whatever payments you make, these charges kind of work against you because you make your payment, but then all of these get charged. So then your payment is actually kind of less in the grand scheme of things, which is unfortunate. There was also a little bit of confusion. It's confusion on my part, honestly. So in May, it was a 3 paycheck month, but the last paycheck came like quite late in the month. And so I did a third payment in the month of May towards the debt, which was great. And I thought that I wasn't completely sure if it was going to end up being counted by like the banking system for May or for June because of how late in the month it was. But then when I was looking at everything getting closed at the end of May for all of this information, so when I filled in that, it got counted towards May, which was fine, absolutely fine. May was when I had made that payment, and it was a 3 paycheck month, so I was perfectly fine if it was taken into account there. So I calculated it out there in my book. Everywhere I have written it's a May payment, but it actually didn't process through the system electronically until the 2nd of June. And so then when I was looking at the statement for June, while I was compiling all of the information to do this, it's showing on the June statement as a payment made June 2nd, but it got put towards the debt at the end of May. So I'm confused. I'm very confused because it's like it got put towards both months, but only counted for one. So it's not like they thought I did a double payment or something. So I'm a little bit confused because now my statements from the bank don't really match how May and June got written out because it's counting that one extra payment towards June instead of May. Ultimately, it doesn't really matter. It got counted. My numbers are right in terms of my opening and closing balance and things like that. And I guess it doesn't really matter. It's confusing to me. I find billing cycles very confusing. They never stay on the same date. They move all around. They're awkward. The banks never seem to actually honor them because they'll say, your billing cycle or whatever ends on such and such a date, but then it doesn't because things processing time, I guess. I don't know. Billing cycles confuse me. And I was talking with some friends, and luckily I'm not the only one that they confuse because we were all just we don't know. It's confusing. We don't understand it. You just got to kind of roll with it and hope in the end everything works out. So all of that rambling about billing cycles, which really doesn't matter much for this video at all. So my apologies. But yeah, this is where I am at so far for June, how the debt payoff for my line of credit is going. It is going to slow down over the next couple months because I do have a balance sitting on my credit card of $700 and something that I really want to get off the credit card. So I'm still going to be doing my best to be paying the minimum monthly payment plus an extra $100 over the span of a month for, July, August, and so forth. But if I have to choose between the two, I will maybe put a little less onto the line of credit so I can put a little bit more onto the Visa card because I want to get the Visa card paid off. But you'll see that going forward in videos as I'm sort of deciding, get every paycheck and figuring out how I'm going to get things rolling and working and whatnot. But yeah, for now, this is where it's at. I'm very happy with it. I have to say, I thought that I would need this larger sheet for motivation already. I thought by the time I was in summertime, I'd be a little bit down about how much I'm paying towards the line of credit versus using that money for fun summer activities. I thought I'd be a little bit sad because of all the various things that I got invited to do by friends that I have said no to so that I don't have those expenses so that I can really make sure my money is going on to paying off the line of credit. But I'm not. I'm still really focused on paying it off. I still very much want to pay it off. My excitement over last month, I was talking with a friend and I was really excited about having 3 paychecks in the month because it meant I could make an additional payment to the line of credit. And she started laughing at me because she's like, really? I thought, third paycheck of the month. It doesn't have to go towards any bills. I can just use it for fun stuff. So clearly I have had a mindset shift in terms of where my focus is, and it's still there. I still have it. I'm still focused on paying off the line of credit. It's still my priority. I know I will be shifting that priority a little bit just to get that credit card taken care of. But ultimately, the overall priority is the debt and paying it off. And I haven't had to rely on looking at this to remind myself of that at all yet. I look at it every time I sit down to update it, and I get really happy from looking at it, and I really enjoy seeing how the changes in the numbers are. But I really did think that I would be having to look at it as a more visceral reminder of no, it's okay that you said no to go to that concert because look at this. This is your payoff for saying no. But instead, I'm doing okay. I haven't needed it yet. Not saying that I won't. I think getting closer and closer to Christmas and wanting to buy presents for people and things like that, I'll be relying on this a little bit more. But for now, I'm very glad that I made it, and I'm very glad that I have it to look at and to reference, but it's not yet fulfilling the emotional need that I thought that it would be, which I'm actually also very, I don't know if proud is the right word, but I'm very happy about, because it means that I'm not having like a little internal battle with myself to stay on track with this. I'm still doing it because I want to be doing it, and I'm driven to do it. So yay for debt payment and mindset shifts. So thank you very much for following along with my debt payoff journey with this line of credit. I really appreciate it. I know that the progress has been slower than what some other YouTubers do, because they can make really big payments and things, and I'm doing the best that I can, but it's a slow and steady over here, and it's going to be a long-term project, but I think when it is done, it's going to be very fulfilling seeing it actually being paid off. So I will talk to all of you in the next video. I do appreciate you being here and following me on this journey. I think it's really great to have company. I hope if you're paying any debt off, it's going really well for you, and faster. I hope it's going faster for you. I know mine is slow, but it doesn't mean I think everybody should be slow. So thank you. I will talk to all of you in the next video. Stay safe, everybody. Bye.